Here we go. Might know another project. Yeah, now he's into another project. So what are we doing here? Well, we're building a sidecar rig with a 650 Triumph. So we have a 1971 frame. We're in the process of rebuilding a 1968 650 engine to go in it. So what this starts out as is obviously just an oil in the frame to begin with. But since I want to put a sidecar on this one, I've decided we're not using the normal pinch bolt type clamps that look really ugly when they mount every sidecar in the world, it seems. So I put lugs on this frame everywhere that I need to have an attachment point. So there's been a lot of rework on this Triumph. I don't build my Triumphs to look like everybody else's Triumphs. I build them to satisfy me. I don't have all the original parts for the bikes. I have the engines, I have the frames and titles. And then I build the motorcycle with the parts that I want to use. Again, in this case, I've already got one that's built like this as a street tracker. It's got a 650 Yamaha front end being grafted onto it. You have to rework the stem when you do these, and you have to redo the fork stops. You cut off all the clunky looking key lock stuff that Triumph originally put on there. This frame was in pretty bad shape, beat up really bad, but since it had a title with it and everything's rebuildable, let's rework it, and that's what we did. So I've welded tabs in here to build my own type of battery box that goes in these. Seat tabs, the seat will bolt on. There's no reason for me to have to flip the seat up every day. I will have a cutout in the front that allows you to be able to check the oil at the in the back. I weld this piece on here because it gets the license frame coming off of this and the tail light. My bikes don't even run a rear fender on them. Don't need a rear fender, don't need the extra weight and bulk. You'll see this piece here, not only is this cross piece giving support between the two frame rails because the sidecar attaches over here, this is also the top of my inner front part of my fender. You see these tabs down here. This is also where the panel attaches. So all the coils and other pieces will attach to that down through there. Be able to attach the horn and stuff here. I already have the plate put on here where the voltage regulator will go on the modern system, not using the old Zener diode system. So, you know, it totally reworked the frame. This is actually 2¼ inches longer in seat length than the original. Doesn't sound like much, but when you ride two up on it, 2¼ inches and a custom seat can make a lot of difference. Now, what we've done here is made this so that the attachment points are already on the motorcycle. We'll get down here, we can see my foot peg supports are not the original factory ones. I weld these on there and then I put custom aluminum billet foot peg supports on. Also, the regular foot peg supports bolt to the frame, not the clunky ones that Triumph actually made. Basically a more modern setup. So this is where the sidecar is going to attach, right here on the bottom in the rear. And there's also another tube on the other side over here. And this will get a 3/4 inch shaft run through here with a tube in here to support these two, so you can pull this together as tight as you need to. Your adjustment and your final lug will be out here on the end. Up here on the frame rail, I took and bored through and put a 5/8 fine thread fitting through the frame rail. So this is where the upper attachment will go, instead of having a big clamp affair going around here. You'll notice that the rear shock mount is different than the original. I have a tab here, and 2 tabs up here. This gets a smooth aluminum panel around here instead of the normal air boxes that you're normally going to see. When we get up here toward the front, you'll notice the attachment points for the sidecar again. This upper tube is welded across, and the upper ones are 5/8, the lower ones are 3/4. So that's 5/8 hole through there. Down here we have the 3/4 attachments welded to the frame as gusset in here. Again, this takes a solid tube that goes across here that the 3/4 will go through, so you can pull that together as tight as you need to pull it. So that's how the sidecar is going to attach. I had a sidecar for 10 years. Can't buy that sidecar anymore. It was a really cool sidecar, not big and bulky like so many of them were. Most sidecars I don't really like. I don't mind riding a sidecar. There's a time and a place for every one of them. Yeah, part of my time is I'm already 78. Then decided that, you know what, I have enough of these bikes that I need to build one with a sidecar on it. So whether I put a body on it or not, I don't know. Desert hack sidecar, you know, people would look at that and say, what the heck, you don't have a body on there. Well, you had a couple handrails on them, and they rode them standing up and kneeling down and whatever they had to do to go fast. So I don't know. We'll probably do it both ways. So right now, well, before I get to the sidecar frame, I did rebuild the swing arm. You'll notice that the swing arm, I did the original bushings up front, cut them off the original swing arm. This is an 1.25 inch square tube swing arm. That's 1.5 inches longer than the original one. The bikes really work really good when they're 1.5 inches long. Loads up the front end a little bit more. Bikes feel really stable. Flat trackers did that they didn't change the neck angle, because the neck angle had too much rake on them. So the front ends didn't feel like they had enough weight on them. So if you made the swing arm longer, you didn't have to change the rake, and the bike worked pretty good. But I've been building my own sidecar frame. I have a tubing bender. So this is a pretty much one piece sidecar frame here that I've been working on. We're going to talk about the sidecar pieces now. This is a 135 wall, 1.5 inch tube sidecar frame. Now, probably doesn't need to be quite that heavy or quite that big, but here's the thing with sidecars. Sidecars can work really good if they're set up properly. And what I learned with my sidecar when I had it is, with nobody in it, it worked horribly. With somebody in it, it didn't work bad. So what I did is I took 5-gallon jugs of sand, set them in the seat until I got the ballast correct, so that when nobody was in that sidecar, it rode and handled as good as when somebody was in it. And then I went and figured out how much weight that was, and I went and had a steel plate cut out that sat on top of the frame underneath the body that provided that ballast when nobody was in it, and you could ride the wheels off that machine any day, any time. When you put somebody in it of normal weight, it actually worked even better. But with nobody in it, it worked great. So you want to think about ballast on your sidecars. So I'm not worried about weight on the frame. Build a frame and everything plenty heavy. It just means I have to find that much less ballast. So I bent this up yesterday and came out pretty close to what I had drawn on the floor in blue marks with blue marker, what I wanted.